Traveling Tales. Group 1 presents The Spirit of Leecola Hill.
Once a time, there was a young boy named Max. He lived high up on a mountain called Leecola Hill. He was the captain of the mountain, a spirit who guarded it fiercely. Max enjoyed the weather on Leecola Hill. In the springtime, he loved to feel the nice, cold wind gently floating across his face.
The mountain was a special mountain where trash piled up as much as the amount of trash and resources thrown away by people all over the world. Max, the guardian of the mountain, knew that if everywhere on the large and beautiful Leecola Hill became filled with trash, it would be difficult for people on Earth to survive.
One day, Max realized that more than a third of the mountain was filled with trash.
He noticed something peculiar. Among the sprawling heaps of trash, patches of something vibrant green began to emerge, sprouting in the heaps of rubbish. They were not ordinary plants. They were shimmering faintly.
Incurious, Max knelt by one of the patches and gently touched a leaf. A warm sensation spread through his fingers, and suddenly a small voice whispered in the wind.
Guardian of the hill.
The voice said softly,
The mountain remembers.
Max unsure if he had imagined it or not, asked.
What's happening?
The air is struggling.
The voice repeated, and now it was barely more than a whisper,
What do you mean?
asked Max.
Max stared at the glowing plant, a mix of awe and confusion swirling in his chest.
Why now? Trust's been piling up for years. Because it's high time people tip the balance.
The voice said, growing angrier.
The mountain cannot bear it alone.
Before Max could ask anything more, the glow from the plant dimmed, and the voice disappeared. However, something strange started. There were faint rustling sounds as though the trash itself was stirring, being restless.
Max, he just clenched his jaw.
The mountain is alive, and it's starting to fight back.
He explained, but what that fight would mean, Max couldn't say yet.
Suddenly, the ground began to shake. Max and other people on the earth heard the loud rumble. They looked up and saw that trash started to erupt out of Leecola Hill.
Trash was flowing down the hills like a river. The towns and villages around the mountains were flooded with trash.
The level of the trash was growing and growing. People climbed onto the roofs to save themselves. Max was flying in the sky and watching this. He was very sad that this happened, but he also thought it was people's fault.
Garbage was spreading over the earth. All rivers, lakes, parks, and forests were polluted. The environment deteriorated many times over. After 4 months, the whole planet was covered in trash.
Humans started thinking, why is this happening? What should we do now? Mankind didn't know how to solve the problem. Normal life on the earth stopped. But Max had an idea on how to help.
Max clenched his fists and focused all his energy, summoning the glowing plants to spread across the land. Their roots twisted through the trash, breaking it down and pulling valuable materials from the waste. The plants pulsed with golden light, releasing fresh air as they worked. A voice echoed from the mountain itself, deep and powerful. This is your last chance, humans. Will you heal or destroy?
Max flew above the wreckage and shouted, The earth is fighting back. If you don't change, this destruction will never end. His voice thundered across the sky, shaking people from their hopelessness. A little girl clutched her mother's hand and whispered, Can we really fix this? A scientist nearby nodded. We have no choice. We must start now.
People gathered. Finally, Realizing their mistake, scientists and engineers work together. We need machines that can break down waste faster, one inventor declared. And industries must stop making things that harm the earth, another added. Cities introduced strict waste rules, and schools taught children how to protect the planet. No more plastic that lasts forever, a child said proudly.
Factories transformed overnight. One factory owner hesitated. Switching to sustainable materials would be expensive. But when he saw the children cleaning the streets with determination, he sighed. If they're willing to change, so should we. Soon, companies stopped making throwaway products and focused on creating items that lasted.
As people worked tirelessly, the mountain of trash shrank before their eyes. A woman watching the river flow clear again whispered, "It's working." Birds returned to the trees, and the sky, once grey with pollution, stretched wide and blue again. Max, watching from above, thought. "Maybe," he murmured, "they've finally learned."
Leecola Hill was no longer a mountain of waste, but a lush paradise, covered in shimmering plants that continued to purify the air and soil. A young boy stood in awe. "This was once a trash mountain?" he asked. An elder nodded. "And a warning."
The people, forever changed, made a promise. "Never again," leaders declared. Laws were passed to prevent overproduction, and businesses were required to create products that could be reused or repaired instead of being thrown away. "We will respect the earth," a factory owner vowed.
Markets filled with sustainable products, repair stations replaced landfills, and nature thrived alongside human innovation. A child fixed a broken toy and smiled. "We don't throw things away anymore. We make them last."
Max, standing atop the now green Leecola hill, listened to the laughter of children playing in the clean grass. A soft whisper floated in the wind, the voice of the mountain. "Well done, Guardian," Max nodded, proud of what humanity had become.
And so, the world flourished again, not by magic, but by the power of human determination. Max gazed at the horizon, knowing his mission was complete. "They won't forget this time," he said. And so, Max remained the faithful guardian of Leecola Hills, ready to guide the world whenever it needed, a reminder that the future depends on the choices we make today.